It was on HBO, and that was one that they were like, you better watch this now. It's cycling off. I always find this weird with the streaming sites, and I don't know. The artificial scarcity of streaming media is one of the most bizarre, like, just crazy things. So, like, HBO is like, better watch out, Crazy Rich Asians. We're going to have to take it off of our system next month. And I'm like, what the f? It's just like a fucking computer file. You can't just leave that on your server? Where did it go? It's not like a, what? And it's the same with any of the apps. They do that. And then the worst case scenario is I got onto this streaming service through the library called Canopy.
It sucks.
And it's good. They have good stuff on it.
You have to spend points or so.
That's the thing that kills me.
Chuck E. Cheese tokens
and
or something.
So you go to your local library, and this is a genius thing. I'd never heard of Canopy before. I only learned about it because I went and took Jane to do like an event at the library, and they like were like, hey, there's this thing called Canopy, and they like ran something about like dinosaurs and trains or whatever. And they're like, yeah, if you got like a library card, you can just like sign up. You don't have to pay anything.
There you go.
I was like, that's genius. It's like Netflix, but it's free because you're getting it through the library, which, taxes and whatever. And I sign up for it, and the kids part is free. So you get like all the kids stuff, like boom, unlimited, which is cool. But then they have the non-kids section, and you only get 6 views a month.
Okay.
You can only watch 6 movies a month. And then, but if you run out of them, or even if you don't run out of them, they send you these suggestions, and they have this whole category of things that are credit-free movies.
Yeah.
So these are ones you can watch without exhausting your credits. Jeez. And I'm like, what level of craziness are we on? I mean, because think about this for a second.
Oh, goodness.
Okay.
I'm thinking about it.
The U.S. government creates copyright law. Okay? And they say, you can't just copy movies and just like spread them freely.
Right.
You can't do that.
Can't do that.
Okay. That's a government program in a sense, right? The government has set up that thing where you can't do that.
Got it.
I can't just share movies with my friend,
right.
run Napster or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. So then the library comes in, and they do this with books too, but books, there's a physical aspect to a book, which makes it make a little bit more sense. The library comes in and goes, hey, the game we're in is instead of having everyone have to buy each movie they watch or buy each book they watch, we'll buy them collectively. We'll have a collective pot of books and movies and other media, and then you can rent them and like share it out.
All right.
Already you're at one level of like, this doesn't really make sense because the government has made it to where you can't just like copy books freely and like spread them out.
Yeah.
But then also the government is like, let me get a book that you can like thousands of people can share when we only buy one copy of it. You see what I'm saying? There's a disconnect.
It doesn't make sense.
There's a disconnect.
It doesn't
there.
make sense.
Either we all need to buy a copy because that's important for promoting the creation of artistic works, or we can all share one copy, in which case, why prevent copying at all?
Yeah.
But then they hit this like middle ground. With the books, you're like, okay, there's a sort of scarcity aspect to it because if it's a physical book, right?
We can't
only
all
one
share
person
the book.
can read it at a time. So there's a way in which it's like, okay, this is an interesting middle ground.
Yeah.
But then digital media comes in, not just movies, but also books, ebooks,
audiobooks.
And it's like, oh, okay, what do we do now? Right? Because, well, why don't you just buy a copy of the movie and, through the magic of the internet, anyone could check it out at any time. There's no scarcity. There's no reason why I can't watch the movie or get the ebook, and then John or Sally or whatever, anyone is, why, the scarcity is gone. The scarcity book aspect is gone. You see what I'm saying?
I see that.
And with the ebooks, they like have a limited number of ebook copies. So it's like they have like 12 copies of a particular ebook.
That doesn't make any sense.
And like 12 people can check it out. And then when they're done, they go, all right, I'm done with the ebook. And they check it back in.
No.
And then someone else can get the ebook. It's just a PDF.
Yeah.
Just let anyone get this PDF.
That's bullshit.
But then it goes even crazier because they're like, okay, we're going to do this digital media thing, which is sort of going to be like books. So everyone can have access to the movies.
Okay.
And we don't want to make people do like DVDs. That doesn't make sense because people just stream stuff these days. Mm-hmm. So we'll let them stream, right? But then it's like, well, that doesn't really, because what are we going to like buy a copy of Lady Bird and then anyone can stream it?
Why not?
Or, like who's going to ever pay for it in that case, right? We'll just do it through the library and the library buys one copy of it or something. No, we got to, okay. So what we got to do is we can't really make it to where like we have like 10 copies of Lady Bird and like you get to watch it. And then if someone else isn't watching it, you can like pull a copy down. That's like too technologically ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so we'll just give each person 6 credits to watch movies.
Okay.
And so now we've turned it on its head again.
Yeah.
Right? You create the copyright to create scarcity.
Yeah.
Then you create the library to eliminate the scarcity to an extent. Then digital media actually technologically eliminates the scarcity. And you move into that, and then you create your own scarcity with these 6 credit points. And it's like, if you wanted to describe, I mean, this is the insanity of capitalism. I mean, in other contexts, whatever, like I think, markets and so on. But like, here's a thing that you look at and you're like, this is insane. There's got to be a better way to fund the creation of movies and music and books that doesn't involve this weird thing where we prevent people from copying it, and then we have a library come in and sort of fuck up that scarcity that we create with the copying in order to generate rents, but like not fuck it up entirely. Like there's got to be a better way to do it. You see what I'm saying?
I see.
It's only the capitalist imperative that requires that your media bring money in through a transaction that leads to this bizarre web of decisions that ended up with, here's a free streaming service through the library, but you can only watch 6 movies a month. That is totally bizarre. There should be one service or multiple services, whatever, that just has like every movie. You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
Or every music. Now, I'll throw this out here one more time.
Okay.
Okay? Because I have actually thought this through a little bit.
Yeah, I can see that.
In the context of music.
Okay.
Okay? Because music's actually pretty cheap. If you look at U.S. music sales, it's something like the $10 to $12 billion range.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like $10 billion
Sure.
a year annually. Yeah. Okay? Like 85% of that's streaming.
Yeah.
Right? So people are paying for Spotify or Pandora or Tidal or whatever.
Right.
That's really where it's at these days. Well, you want to talk about an easy thing to socialize? Here's an easy thing to socialize. The government creates their own music streaming platform.
Mm-hmm.
They put money into it. Like they go, here's a $10 billion pot, and we're going to pay it out to artists based on how many listens they get.
Okay.
And you could create a different formula that's like, look, basically if you get 1% of the listens, like across the whole platform, if you're like Taylor Swift and you're getting like literally 1 out of every 100 listener, like is clicking on one of your songs, then you get 1% of the pot. If you get, most people would not get anywhere near that much, right? She probably wouldn't even either, right? Because there's so many artists.
Right.
Like basically whatever your percentage is in terms of percentage of streams, which we can track, that's how much money you get. And then you could create some caps and be like, yeah, but you can't get more than like a couple mil.
Right.
Right. If your percentage goes over the point at which you would get a couple mil, then we cap you at that point and we take any of the extra and we plow it back in to the rest of the pot, and if you did that, music would be free. Like all music would be free, basically. And everyone would just compete. Essentially, they would make their money by getting people to listen to their music on Spotify. Or, the government Spotify. Now, who cares? Whatever, we all pay, $9 a month to our streaming service. Maybe it's not the most important thing. But that is what I have in mind with you want to eliminate scarcity in digital media, which doesn't exist technologically, but exists for legal reasons to try to push money into the system. You do something like that. Not a library where you get 6 views a month